Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, reporter Landon Wexler learned how the Remembrance Scholars are fulfilling their promise to look back and act forward today.
And if you're a student worried about safety when leaving your dorm for break, CitrusTV reporter Anna Azallion has you covered. Find out how you can keep your belongings safe while you enjoy your holidays back home.
And find out how U.S. senators are discussing a bill that may influence U.S.-Saudi relations in the wake of journalist Jamal Khashoggi's death. Citrus TV News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Following yesterday's state funeral in Washington, D.C. for former President George H.W. Bush, another service in remembrance of the president took place this morning in Houston. Good evening, I'm Zach Lang.
And I'm Gilat. Melamed. Reports say over 11,000 people visited the church in Houston to pay their respects to the 41st president. He was then taken by train to his presidential library in College Station, Texas, to be buried next to his wife Barbara and daughter Robin.
And his contributions to the country as president continue to guide the American people. Citrus TV reporter David Edelstein tells us how one policy Bush enacted in office still impacts the Syracuse community today.
The American flag flew at half-staff Wednesday, a sign of respect for the life, service, and memory of President George H.W. Bush. Bush's body was transported to the Washington National Cathedral at 10 a.m. At 11, the funeral service began, the nation watching.
The best father a son or daughter could have.
14 U.S. presidents have visited Syracuse over time. George H.W. Bush was not one of them. But regardless, he still had an impact on the Syracuse community. One of his major American policy contributions during his time in office was signing the ADA into law, the Americans with Disabilities Act, which has influenced institutions, including Syracuse University.
The ADA prohibits discrimination based on disability. It has led to the creation of aid like ramps, curb cuts, and automatic doors to make facilities more accessible. While most SU students were not yet born when Bush signed the act into law 28 years ago, they say it makes a relevant difference in their lives today.
These are people that need an extra help, and it's nice that someone acknowledged that. So because of that, they're able to attend this school.
Having a community that accepts all and doesn't just accept one person is pretty good.
It opens up a learning environment for a community that was very underserved before that bill was signed.
And even so, some still say there's room to do more.
I definitely have seen them having renovations for elevators to be put into new buildings and ramps, but I feel it needs to be more widely accessible for all buildings.
So as President 41's legacy lives on, he will continue watching from above. David Edelstein, Citrus TV News.
The Remembrance Scholars were continuing to act forward today in Shrine Student Center, sponsoring a Red Cross blood drive. Citrus TV reporter Landon Wexler is in studio to tell us about it. The drive was a success today, right, Landon?
That it was, guys. Remembrance Week ended over a month ago, but scholars were on to their next mission to impact the campus. In collaboration with Red Cross, the scholars promoted a drive to collect the blood that the U.S. is in dire need of this holiday season. One of the Remembrance Scholars, Danielle Schaff, tells us just how simple it is to donate and save all sorts of people.
It's really a simple thing to help others, especially burn patients, sickle cell patients, cancer patients.
To have the opportunity to save lives on this campus is pretty incredible. She also says donating blood can be a hell of a lot of fun.
My friend and I were donating, and we were facing each other. We were trying to race to see who could donate the fastest, but unfortunately I lost.
It's all right, Danielle. We'll work on your speed next time. Today's blood drive had some added perks than just the usual apple juice and cookies that came after donating. Because there is such a shortage of donors, the Red Cross is offering donors a $5 Amazon gift card and a t-shirt. Today's drive wasn't your last chance to donate. On the upcoming Wednesday, there will be another opportunity for you to donate at Hendricks Chapel here on campus. That'll be your last opportunity to donate on campus. But off campus, if you want to find a donation center, use the Red Cross's app called the Blood app, or dial 1-800-RED-CROSS. So get that t-shirt, get that gift card, and most importantly, make people's holiday season a whole lot brighter. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Landon. The Syracuse Athletic Department is opening a dialogue to SU students in what they call the CUSE Council. Meetings between the department and SU students will last an hour and will happen every month. Applications for anyone interested in applying to a year-long term on the council are due by February 1st. While SU students might be in finals mode right now, winter break is quickly approaching. Citrus TV's Anna Azallion reports there's a couple things students need to do before they can leave for the holidays.
As the semester comes to a close, students are leaving campus for the holidays. But first, some students plan to watch the Orange take on the Monarchs in the Dome. Because this is the same day residence halls close, one residence director has a message for those planning on going to the game.
And we want you to enjoy the basketball game. Go have fun. But you need to have all of your belongings removed from the room before the basketball game starts.
Tip-off in the Dome and the closing of residence halls will both be at noon. This isn't the first time this has happened, though. 2 years ago, tip-off against Georgetown coincided with residence halls closing for winter break. And Odermatt says the rule doesn't have much of a loophole.
Honestly, after it's 12 p.m., it's considered trespassing, and we typically have to get DPS involved if the student's giving us a lot of trouble.
From tip-off to safety tips, Odermatt has some advice for students. Other than just locking your door, Odermatt has some other tips to keep your belongings safe. One of those tips is taking anything like your laptop or expensive jewelry home with you.
All the doors will be locked, but I still recommend that just, since it's some serious valuable stuff, to take it home.
For a full list of things to do before leaving campus, talk to your RA or residence director. Anna Azallion, Citrus TV News.
So we had Anna telling us what we need to do before we leave for break, but I'm wondering how the weather is going to be in the coming days. Over Thanksgiving, people had flight delays, train delays. Hopefully it's not snowing.
Right. We've seen everything in the past couple of weeks, from snow to rain to even some sun today. But Carmella, what can we expect soon?
That's right, guys. I can't grant your wish of no snow. As we saw earlier today, it was mostly overcast. We didn't see precipitation. Around 2 p.m. there was some sun, but right now we're at 32 degrees with, unfortunately, we got some snow showers. Not a lot of accumulation on the ground, but we're at 10-mile-per-hour wind speeds. So if you're headed from building to building tonight, you're definitely going to want to bundle up, maybe a little extra than you have before, because that wind on your skin is definitely going to be cold. And if we take a look at our photo of the day, we actually have a Throwback Thursday edition. These are photos taken throughout the semester that we wanted to showcase for our last show. As this one sent in by Ricky reports, we can see the green grass in front of the Hall of Language back before there was even snow on the ground. Moving into this next one sent by Zach Levine, we can see that beautiful blue sky in the background in front of Newhouse 1, back when we could walk on the promenade in shorts and a t-shirt, and that was no problem. These next two, sent in by Isha Batu and Lauren Rubb, show the cinematic colors that we've seen on campus with the sunset. The right one really reminds me, honestly, of The Lion King a little bit, with those dramatic gradient of colors going from top to bottom. And lastly, this one sent in by Jishnu Nair. Thank you, Jishnu, for your submission. This one was from earlier in the semester, where we saw the changing of the leaves on campus. Very beautiful if you were around, walking around. And as you can see behind, there was the Hall of Languages. Moving into tonight, our temperature lows are going to hit around 23 degrees, and we're going to see snow showers until midnight. Now, we're not going to see a lot of accumulation of snow on the ground, but the visibility is definitely going to be low. So if you're driving in a car, make sure you're taking extra precautions. And moving into tomorrow, it's going to be completely cool throughout the day. Around 9 a.m., we're going to hit 24 degrees. Same thing around noon, and then at 6 p.m., we're going to be at 22. It's going to be mostly cloudy throughout the entire day. Some sun around the afternoon, and then don't let the 20 degrees fool you, because it's going to feel like the low teens. These are the coldest temperatures that we're seeing throughout this season, so make sure you bundle up. That's all I have for you right now, but make sure you stick around for my full 5-day weather forecast after the break. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Carmella. Workers are finishing cleaning up a water main break in Syracuse. Witnesses say the 16-inch pipe broke yesterday afternoon on North Beach Street, marked by the red line on this map. Workers fixed the break this morning. The break flooded the street and caused the water pressure to drop for some residents living on the northeast side of the city. The pipe is scheduled to be replaced next year. Syracuse Police Department is investigating 3 robberies within the past week in which marketplace apps were used. The apps like OfferUp and Let Go are designed to allow people to buy and sell items locally. Police say the suspects would contact sellers and then agree to meet up, where the victims were then robbed at gunpoint. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the SPD.
Private snowplow drivers in Syracuse still have to get licenses, but now for a much lower cost. The Syracuse Common Council voted unanimously to lower the plowing license fee from $250 to $50. The cost could be lowered to just $10 if drivers participate in an educational class with the Department of Public Works. The fine for plowing without a license was also lowered to just $150. And the Syracuse City School District may have to hire someone outside the district to oversee 3 poorly performing schools. According to New York State officials, an independent receiver would have to develop a plan to improve Danforth Middle School, the Westside Academy at Blodgett, and Dr. King Elementary School. The district also has the option to close down the low-performing schools. And Governor Andrew Cuomo named the St. Anthony of Padua Church complex to the state and national registers of historic places. According to a press release, the Syracuse complex was selected for its architecture. Buildings include a 1912 Roman-style church, a 1926 Gothic-style convent and school, and a 1941 Italian-style rectory.
Coming up after the break, find out how U.S. senators might be making a deal that impacts the U.S.-Saudi relationship in the wake of journalist Jamal Khashoggi's death.
And the Dow Jones took a plunge this morning. Financial experts believe this drop may be a consequence of a major Chinese executive's arrest. Stay tuned to find out more.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah. Hey Smokey, catch!
Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News Live at 6. Marriott says it will reimburse customers who needed new passports after last week's major data breach. Marriott leaders say the breach compromised over 500 million customers dating back to 2014.
The announcement comes after government leaders, including New York State Senator Chuck Schumer, pressured the hotel company to back customers. Lawyers and business owners have already filed 2 class action lawsuits against Marriott, and critics say more litigation is expected to come.
A Southwest Airlines plane faced a shaky landing this morning after sliding off the runway. The incident occurred at Hollywood Burbank Airport in California.
The engineered material arresting system at the airport stopped the plane as it rolled off the runway while landing. None of the 117 people on the plane were injured.
Although rain was falling at the time of the event, authorities have not stated that this weather caused the incident.
Today, the U.S. House passed a short-term spending bill avoiding a shutdown that would happen tomorrow.
President Trump said he would be willing to shut down the government if he doesn't get the $5 billion it would cost to complete a border wall along the Mexican border.
If the Senate and the President both pass the bill, the government will be funded through December 21st.
U.S. senators on both sides of the aisle are preparing to pull U.S. support for Saudi Arabia in the wake of the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. The bipartisan deal would stop selling arms to the Saudis and discontinue support for their war in Yemen.
And while President Trump has not pulled support for the Crown Prince, the senators are considering a direct punishment for MBS. Among those supporting the plan is Senator Lindsey Graham.
If you get in the orbit of the United States, if you want to buy our weapons and integrate your economy into ours, there's a certain price to be paid. Don't chop somebody up in a consulate. That's not too much to ask. And how bizarre is this? How crazy is this guy to think you could lure somebody to a consulate in Turkey, who basically is a foe of Saudi Arabia, kill him, and nobody would say anything about it? That shows to me a depth of dangerousness that we got to deal with.
Lawyers for alleged Russian spy Maria Butina may be negotiating a plea deal. That's according to a CNN report citing Butina's attorneys. The charge against Butina is illegally acting as a Russian agent. Butina was a grad student at American University in Washington, D.C.
Prosecutors are likely trying to get Butina's camp to change the initial not guilty plea to a guilty one, which would most likely send her back to Russia. Butina's attorney says she's in solitary confinement in a Virginia jail.
Search and rescue operations are underway after a mid-air collision between two U.S. military planes. The incident occurred last night off the coast of Japan.
So far, Japanese maritime self-defense forces have found 2 crew members. While the first person is in good condition, medical personnel declared the second crew member dead.
According to a marine official, a total of 7 people were on board the 2 planes. Authorities are still investigating the cause of the collision.
After a month of rioting over rising gas prices, the French government is taking action. Yesterday, French President Emmanuel Macron announced he would end a tax on fossil fuels that was designed to slow the effects of climate change. French officials announced that the Eiffel Tower will be closed Saturday in anticipation of protests.
French citizens known as the Yellow Vests took to the streets and sparked some of the worst riots in decades. More protests are scheduled for this weekend. Critics say the riots reflect how fighting global warming through reduced energy consumption may cause backlash.
Coming up after the break, weather correspondent Carmella Boykin has your full weather forecast.
And the Dow Jones is still struggling to climb up after a massive plunge this morning. Find out what financial experts believe is the cause of the drop. Citrus TV News live at 6. We'll be right back.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. Taking a look at our temperatures across the state of New York, we're resting right around the freezing point. 34 in Syracuse, 33 in Rochester and Penn Yan, 34 down south, and 31 in Cortland. And moving into tonight, we're going to have snow showers until midnight. We're going to hit a low of 23 degrees and up to 13-mile-per-hour winds. So if you're planning on studying tonight, you're definitely going to hear the wind howling and banging on your buildings. And if that bothers you, make sure you bust out your high-quality headphones so you can really get in the study zone before exam week. Moving into our future radar, our snowstorm we're going to see moving across from Lake Erie if we hit the action so we can really see that radar. There we go. We can really see the radar moving. You can see, wait for it. There we go. The snow is coming throughout the day or throughout the night, and then tomorrow morning basically going to be clear as you're headed off to class. Tomorrow we're going to hit a high of 26 degrees, mostly cloudy, some sun around 1 p.m. So if you're missing the vitamin D, make sure you're outside for that point. And looking at our full 5-day forecast, it's going to be mostly sunny throughout the week. This is a really nice change actually. We're not going to see a lot of precipitation. Partly cloudy on Saturday, mostly sunny on Sunday, but don't let the sun fool you because it's still going to be cold. We're going to hit lows of 21 degrees. Monday, mostly cloudy with a low of 16, and Tuesday, partly cloudy with a low of 15. That's all I have for you guys right now. But Jackson, what's going on in the sports department?
Hold up there, Carmella. We have some news on the Dow first. The Dow is recovering after a 785-point drop today, rebounding to close only 79 points below today's opening. Some financial experts are saying the fall is a result of the arrest of a major Chinese electronics company executive. Huawei Chief Financial Officer Meng Wanzhou was arrested in Canada on December 1st on behalf of the U.S. She currently faces extradition to the United States. Her arrest is part of an ongoing investigation by the U.S. Justice Department, but neither the U.S. nor the Canadian Justice Department is sharing details of the case at this time.
Store brand ibuprofen is being recalled at several pharmacies across the country. A report from NJ.com says that pharma company Tris Pharma is warning that some of its infants' ibuprofen contains more of the drug than it says on the label. The stores include CVS, Walmart, and Family Dollar. Now, Jackson, what can we look for in sports?
Luckily for Syracuse fans, the ibuprofen callback is for children. So with SU having a stressful game coming up this weekend, rivalry game against Georgetown, that is something they can still get in their stores. We'll tell you what's coming up in that rivalry right after early break.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Jackson Ajello. It may look different when longtime rivals Syracuse and Georgetown square off at the Dome this Saturday. Across from Jim Boeheim, second-year Hoyas coach Patrick Ewing, and no players on either roster have faced each other as members of the same conference. But while things are different, the Orange still want to carry on the beautiful tradition of respectful hate.
It's different when you're not in the same league, but it's it's a big game, it's a good game, and it's an important game. But once you're not in the same league and you're not playing all the time, it's different.
Definitely means a lot. Just the history, all the guys know obviously, and this week the next couple of days we're gonna work hard in practice and just set that tone. And I know that the coaches are gonna make sure we know for the guys that aren't used to this history, that's a game that we want to win, and it's still a rivalry, it's still there, and it's always gonna be there.
While a major test lies ahead for SU men's basketball, last night the SU women took on Maryland Eastern Shore at the Dome. The 15th-ranked SU women did battle with the 2-6 Hawks, who the Orange down by over 20 points a season ago. Syracuse looking to replicate that last night. And on the hardwood early on, who was the show you expected to see? Tiana Mangakahia, Miranda Drummond? No, tonight it was Digna Stroutman taking the show. A three-pointer early on for her. That was a sign of good things to come. The game was tied at 5 there. Now another three for Digna. Syracuse up 12-10. She had 17 points on the night, and threes would be a storyline in this one. But first, Maeve Jaldi Tabdi down low. Syracuse up just 25-24 in the second quarter, but then once the three balls started to hit, Syracuse pulled away this one from Miranda Drummond. SU up by 4. Then Gabby Cooper. SU now up 7. It was raining threes in the Carrier Dome last night. Syracuse with 16 three-pointers, including this one from Lewis. Syracuse now up 40-28. Now just about a minute left in the half. Syracuse on the fast break. Maeve Jaldi Tabdi taps this one in. Syracuse up 48-31 at that point, and it was never close. Syracuse won this one 96-51. Syracuse football may not take the field until the Camping World Bowl against West Virginia on December 28th. But today, Syracuse freshman Andre Schmidt is pitching his tent for Atlanta for the College Football Award Show. Tonight, he is a finalist for the Lou Groza Award, which is given each year to the nation's best kicker. Schmidt has already been voted as an All-American by Sports Illustrated, but he'll look for some more tonight. From one All-American with a boot to another, Syracuse senior goalie Hendrik Hilpert has been voted to the 2018 Google Cloud Men's Soccer Academic All-America First Team list. This is his third consecutive appearance on the list, making him the third Syracuse player ever to do so and the first for Syracuse soccer. Tonight at TD Garden, the Celtics host the Knicks in an Atlantic Division bout. New York will look to replicate the performance the squad put together 2 weeks ago in an 8-point victory over Boston. But New York will be without the maestro of that win, Trey Burke, who's out with a knee injury. Tip-off is set for 8.
All right, now, Jackson, I got a question for you. We all know Thanksgiving is the NFL's holiday, but what sport claims Christmas?
Christmas is all about the NBA.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree.
Come on. The NFL has tried to take over. You know, they always want everything. They always want more. You want more. Every sport, they get a holiday, the major ones. Baseball has the July 4th, right? Mm-hmm. You love that. You eat a hot dog. You watch the game. They have the nice caps on. It's great. We all love it. Football, Thanksgiving, you're stuffing your face. It feels great. You watch some football. On Christmas Day is for basketball. I don't like that football's intruding on that territory. College football has New Year's Day. They all have their days. Come on.
All right.
It's Christmas. It's basketball.
Thank you, Jackson.
We'll be right back.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Welcome back, Carmella, and what should I wear to class tomorrow?
Well, it's going to be another chilly day. That's all I can say. If you take a look at our weather for early in the morning, we're going to be around 24 degrees. It's going to be cloudy. It's going to be overcast. And don't let the 20s fool you. It's definitely going to feel like 14 degrees, which are some of the coldest temperatures we've seen this season so far. So maybe if you want to grab a couple of extra scarves, maybe those thermal socks, that'll help you out in the morning. And if you take a look at our 5-day forecast, we're actually not going to see any precipitation, and there's going to be little to no clouds, which is nice. Friday is going to be mostly cloudy. Saturday is going to be partly cloudy. We're going to have a mostly sunny Sunday. On Monday, we're going to be mostly cloudy as well, and then on Tuesday, it's going to be partly cloudy. But don't let the sun fool you. It's still going to be cold with a low of 15 on Tuesday.
Now, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association announced nominees for the Golden Globe Awards today.
Yeah, among the nominees are HBO's Sharp Objects and actress Amy Adams, as well as Henry Winkler, better known as the Fonz from Happy Days, who won an Emmy for a supporting role in Barack Obama's biopic, Barry. Notable snubs include Hulu's The Handmaid's Tale and Atlanta.
That's right, and all those shows deserve praise, as well as the cast and crew of this entire show, who have put on a fantastic show every single Thursday this semester. So thank you to our executive producer, Allie Heath, and everyone else who works on this show. Now, that's all the time we have tonight on Citrus TV News Live at 6. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Citrus TV News, and check us out on CitrusTV.com. I'm Zach Lang.
And I'm Gilat Melamed. Have a great night, Syracuse.